What's happening? Iron Tamer Dave Whitley here, and today I want to talk to you for a few minutes about trying. Did a video recently about the power of words and talk is cheap, and got a lot of good response off that. Thank you all very much for your kind words on that. So I thought I would keep going in that direction and start talking about various different words that crop up in our vocabulary, what they mean, how they're used, and whether or not that is congruent with the meaning, and also whether or not that congruency or that lack thereof is harmonious with the way you want the word to express the thought that's in your mind. Because like we said, the words are just symbols that represent a concept or an idea, right? And it's a tag that we put on something. Our names are symbols for the physical presence that occupies the space in which we live, that carries our spirit around, without getting too esoteric on this particular one. So the word that I want to talk about today is a word that I think gets overused, often used, misused, however you want to call that, and the word is try. Now, everybody uses the word try in some capacity, be it a good capacity or a bad capacity, or a better way to say that is an effective capacity or an ineffective capacity, because attaching the words good and bad to stuff, that's a whole other video we can do sometime. That attaching the words good and bad passes a moral element into it that I'm not really interested in doing. But whether it's effective or ineffective in accomplishing the thing that we want to accomplish, our words are very powerful, and we see this throughout all the major religions in the world. We look at Christianity. God said, "Let there be light." And you go in the New Testament. In the beginning, there was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God. That's just a Christian example of it. I'm not super well versed in some of the more esoteric religions, but the whole idea, if we go back to say what you mean and mean what you say, right? Your thoughts are things, and your words are the beginning of those thought vibrations manifest in this frequency. Again, getting a little esoteric, but that's okay because it's my video. The word try. Well, first of all, let's look at the word try in a proper context. What does it really mean? To give a chance to something, and I'm not pulling dictionary definitions here. This is just my particular understanding of it. Is to give a chance or to make an attempt at something. Now, used in a proper, useful context for me, if you said, "Hey, have you tried this new restaurant?" or "Have you tried this particular beer?" Yes, no, I don't know, maybe. Here, would you like to try a bite of this delicious meal that someone's made? Yes, sure, I would love to try that. Then I can participate in that, draw a conclusion, and decide whether I would want to continue to participate in that or not. Pretty simple, really. And that's the essence of the word try and the way that I believe that it ought to be used. Where we start to run into a snag there is when we start using the word try in a way where there's no decision to be made. I heard a quote not too long ago, and I don't know where it was from, that trying is failing with honor. I don't think there's any dishonor in failing. I really don't. The dishonor lies in not learning from the failure or in repeating the mistake, whatever it was that caused the failure, over and over and over again. There's no dishonor in failing. But to go back to the word try, the Yoda quote pops up a lot. Do or do not. There is no try. And that's good, but it's like a lot of things. It's an almost complete truth. It's more of a partial truth. The scene that gets overlooked in that movie, and I love me some Star Wars, the scene that gets overlooked in that movie is trying happens when there's a lack of belief when it's used in that context. If you remember from the movie, Yoda asks Luke to lift the X-Wing fighter out of the murky swamps of Dagobah. And he says, I'll try not, blah, 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 all that stuff. He can't do it. So Yoda sort of pushes him out of the way, raises it up, floats it over, and sets it down. And young Skywalker says, "I don't believe it." And Yoda says, "That is why you fail." We fail from lack of belief, not from lack of trying. I'm going to say that again. We fail from lack of belief, from lack of confidence, not from lack of trying. When we use the word try in that context, what we are doing is verbalizing a lack of confidence in what we're doing. And I'm going to give you a couple of good examples of this. Wherever you are right now, and maybe you're on a smartphone. I have one of those right here. And I want you to imagine that's the table or whatever. You can use anything. You can use a pen. I got a pen here too. Let's use a pen. Pen's easier. And just imagine this is a table, and we just have that pen lying on the table. Now what I want you to do is reach over, take the pen or the smartphone or whatever the wee little object is, pick it up off the surface, and hold it. Go ahead, do that. Cool. Now, put it right back down where it was. Very good. Now, I want you to leave it lay there and not pick it up. Can you do that? Theatrical flourish, right? So I have successfully picked it up. I have successfully left it lying. Now, what I want you to do is try to pick it up. Hold on to it and try to pick it up. We know you can. Try to do it. If you break contact with the surface, then you didn't try. You stopped trying, you succeeded. If you didn't break contact with the surface, then you didn't try, you failed. Let that ruminate inside your brain for a little bit. If you succeeded, you didn't try. If you failed, you didn't try. So the whole idea of trying to do something in that context, in that success context, is flawed. Now, in a matter of opinion, such as, would you like to try this delicious cheeseburger? Sure, I'll try it and I'll decide if it's delicious. We have that room to play with. But in a matter of success and failure, there's no trying to be done. You either do the thing or you don't do the thing. And either one is fine. And that's getting away from success and failure, to sound less judgmental with that. And the way we're programming our minds is you either do the thing or you don't do the thing. You cannot try to do the thing. And that echoes from Yoda, I'm sure. To give another example, I got a deck of cards here, and lots of people have seen me do various things with decks of cards. What I'm going to do right now is I'm opening the box. This is an unopened box of cards, and I'm going to go ahead and open it up and take the cards out. And I'm going to show you something that I will frequently do in a show to use a feat of strength to underscore a particular idea or concept. Now, I'm going to hold this deck of cards, and I might give it to someone from the audience and say, tear this deck of cards. And they'll do the thing, and I'll say, try harder, because I've talked about all this stuff by that point. So go ahead and try harder. And no matter how hard they try, they're unable to successfully tear the deck of cards, at least in those contexts. So what I'll do is say, I take the deck of cards and I tear it without trying. I just twist. Whoop. It slips a little bit sometimes. This is what happens when you are concerned with staying in frame on the camera. Let me stand up so I can do this. And I just twist the deck and rip it in half, right? Under control, no great amount of effort, which is something we'll talk about later. And I've torn a deck of cards in half successfully. I did not try, I tore. Had I not torn, I still wouldn't have tried, I would have not torn. So keep that in mind. And it doesn't just apply to lifting or feats of strength or anything like that. I'm trying to save money. We hear that all the time, right? I'm trying to watch what I eat. I'll try to get there on time. None of these things make sense if you stop and think about it. What you're doing is you're putting misguided effort into the idea of accomplishing something. And that effort is, in fact, building doubt in your ability to do it. Stop trying to save money. Decide how much money you want to save and set some aside. That's simple. Stop trying to be on time. Schedule yourself so that you get where you're going on time. If you're sitting in traffic and it's not your fault, you left your home to go to wherever you're going on time, you're sitting in traffic, you're not trying to get there on time, you're sitting in traffic. No amount of effort, trying harder to get there on time will make the traffic go any faster. So stop trying and just accept things as they are. Hopefully this makes sense. I feel kind of rambly about it, but I tried really hard to get you to understand. That's a joke, son. Yeah, that's all I got on that. So think about that. Roll that around in your mind. Hopefully it makes sense to you. Stop trying and be interested in accomplishing stuff, in progressing, in succeeding. And if you're not going to succeed at it, let it not be from lack of trying, let it be from lack of knowledge or lack of ability. That's okay. If you don't have an ability, you can develop it. If you don't have knowledge, you can learn stuff. Then you'll be successful with whatever the endeavor is. But trying, it just doesn't work. So stop doing it. That's all I got right now. Tamer out.